Hey Taurus, this one's for you. Welcome. This is Tarot Lumination with your August 2017 Love and Relationship Report. It's not a forecast. We don't predict the future here. Nothing like that. We're just talking about the energies, okay? So you know the drill. Read for your sun, moon, and rising. Also, it helps a lot if you watch the introduction video for the whole playlist that explains the format of the reading. I like to call it a crucible spread, because it's only understanding that there is a relationship between oneself and another, and that the relationship itself has an identity of its own, okay? And the crucible itself is essentially a structure that is chosen and built to withstand, hopefully, the pressures of the relationship. All the ups and downs, the joys, the sorrows, the intimacy, the separation, all of it. You can even read this for singles if you want, because you're still radiating the energy of relationship anyway. But that's up to you. You can reinterpret accordingly. I don't want to tell you how to do that. So cards were already well shuffled in advance, and we're going to dive right in. Remember, Taurus, this is the big beginning of the eclipse season, linked up directly with the Leo North Node. So Leo energy is extremely strong right now, and it will impact you somewhere, some way, somehow. And we start with the end of July, Leo new moon, and then in early August, the eclipse full moon with Aquarius, and at the end of August, the big new moon eclipse, right at the very tippy end in 29 degrees. So pay attention, okay, and make the best of it. We'll do what we can. Let's see what the cards indicate. Let's see what the cards have to say, all right? All right, we did a little cut there, and we're just going to go through this. This represents you, let's say your energy. This one represents the energy of another. This is going much deeper into you, much deeper into another, and this is the energy of the relationship itself. And can you see how we're creating like this cup shape? Typically a crucible is like a bowl, very, very, very high refractory bowl, which can withstand incredible pressures without fracturing. Here's the momentum where it's kind of going, okay? So also we're going to have a look at the supporting weather. Well, it's there anyway. I just call it the weather. And it's the card at the bottom here, and it's going to give us an indication of like prevailing conditions that might influence the reading itself, or you yourself, or another themselves, okay? Or the relationship itself. So you have Taurus, you got like one of the ultimate love cards. This is the Two of Cups. Frankly, I'm jealous right now. This is probably one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. It's very, very pure, okay? It doesn't necessarily indicate, oh, you're going to fall in love or do that or get married and have babies and houses and mortgages and cars and minivans or whatever it is you do. It indicates like the purity of love in its most, let's say, high frequency manner. Like you would feel it as resonance, like, oh my God, I just met the right person. And I know it deep in the pit of my soul. I don't have to analyze it or anything. You just know. And they know exactly the same thing. It is purely reciprocal. It's pure reciprocal love. So you are literally swimming in it, Taurus. You are surrounded by the healing power of love in a very real way, in a way that could almost be incorporated into your worldly life, because this is the weather out there. It's just happens to be the best weather you could possibly ask for in terms of a relationship. So let's just see what happens, okay? Let's have a look at your energy, okay? Wow. I don't know what to say. That caught me by surprise. I'm just letting you know. I'm feeling a lot of like flutters here, like I don't want to like build things up and then have like a I don't know. Let's just look at it. Wow. This is your energy, okay? So some way, somehow or other, you're going through some kind of what I feel is like an evolutionary leap. Okay? So it's like, traditionally this card is all about leaving behind troubled waters to enter into a smooth new environment. And it includes leaving behind a lot of things like obsolete attitudes, behaviors, beliefs, habits, assumptions. It could be including people, situations, dynamics, history, a legacy. There's a lot of walking away and moving on here, but it's not dark or shadowy in any way. It's literally just a change. It's a realization that big shifts are happening in your love life, Taurus. Let's just call it out. And you're realizing it deep down in your soul, and it's already starting to permeate into the surface of your waking day-to-day life. And the good thing about it is that you've basically got everything that you need in order to advance. Now, of course, when you are advancing and evolving, by definition, you're kind of heading into the unknown. However, it seems that this is a deliberate choice here. The Six of Swords is quite deliberate in its actions and energy. It's willfully and consciously moving on and evolving and taking all the healthy, positive attitudes, perceptions, beliefs, understandings, and good habits forward into a new way of being. Now, how and why this energy is coming about or why it's happening, that's a whole other thing. And you might understand that or know that inside of yourself, Taurus, because this card is not indicating anything about the hows or the whys. It's just an energy of conscious, deliberate moving on in order to find a more peaceful, beautiful, fulfilling life. And gently and inoffensively saying farewell to all the, let's just call it emotional goop or just ancient drama, or it could be anything that is essentially very much to do with this eclipse energy, where anything that is obsolete, redundant, and simply not serving you or working for you anymore for your best and highest good. And please don't take this the wrong way, but what is best for your highest good is best for everyone else. So if in the decision to advance and move on and change your situation in some way, if it means that you're leaving behind all sorts of things that could be, let's say, judged or taken poorly or misunderstood, or perhaps leaving what might appear to be residual pain or triggering things like resentment and all that kind of stuff, that is not your problem, Taurus. It's theirs, okay? Because you are honoring this energy. And it's probably the most noble thing you could ever do. The most loving thing you could ever do is to love you first and honor this energy above all and anything and everything else. And one of the other things about this energy combined with this energy, this is the supporting energy, but it's extremely supportive for you. It's the idea of that in order to evolve, it's like, it sounds very like selfish, but it's all about loving yourself first to be able to make these profound decisions that are required to move on, and walking away from what is no longer healthy or serving you. In other words, love you, love yourself first and foremost, and more than the need to people please or take care of this or take care of that, take care of that, take care of them, take care of that, as a people pleaser, because all you're doing is diminishing yourself, depleting yourself. And maybe it's time for certain others, whoever these situations or circumstances might be, it might be that you are actually in your own profound way, from the highest spiritual intentions and the most loving intentions, allowing them to now have their chance to evolve, where you are no longer participating as a people pleaser. In other words, you can actually conduct and live your own life according to what is the most loving way to be for you. And then it's up to them how they interpret that, your actions, your behaviors, and your decisions. Let's have a look at a significant other. Well, it looks to me, Taurus, that you're very lucky because it looks like you're relating to someone of significance who really sees the value of what is going on here. Deep down inside that action, it's not even deep down, it's right in your face, Taurus. You might be relating with someone who sees this as the golden opportunity of a lifetime. This is like the ultimate gift from heaven of a chance to start anew in ways that work, in ways that are tangible, in ways that are effective, and that create value for the long term, create legacy, create history. And it's not all about what they can get for themselves. They are sensing this and feeling this in the context of the relationship. In other words, there's you doing your own business, minding your own business, loving you according to the dynamics of this particular relationship situation. And there is a significant other who is also looks like by their energy, automatically by default, they are completely committed in the most loving way possible. And in the most simple, unambiguous ways, they realize what an amazing opportunity this is. Because for anyone, as an individual, or especially in a relationship, to have this kind of energy as like the supportive energy. In other words, this whole relationship is essentially blessed by heaven, so to speak. It's very obvious to a significant other or a person of interest that they are very, very aware of the value and the benefits and what this love energy really means when you actually bring it down to earth, so to speak, as opposed to like angelic fairy tale stories, talking about actual real life nuts and bolts, day-to-day life here on earth. They get it. They not only do they get it, they are deeply invested and they're very excited about getting more deeply vested. Okay, because they see this as a doorway, as a passageway to a whole new future, a whole new life for themselves in the context of the relationship. Okay. So no matter what happens with the rest of these cards, please understand, Taurus, that the relationship itself is literally, it's almost like swimming in love, saturated in love. I'm not talking about like goopy romance or like rip-roaring sex or like, oh, let's get married now and have our babies or anything like that. I'm just talking about love in the purest sense. It's almost like platonic love. It's almost like the love of a mother for a child, a brother for a sister, a dear friend for a dear friend, but it can also include romantic love in the most pure way, okay? So this is very, very nice for you, Taurus, to have this in a person of interest, okay? Let's have a look deeper inside of you, Taurus. Who knows what's going on? Well, you've got the Queen of Wands here. And the Queen of Wands, as far as my feelings here for you, Taurus, is that deep down, this relationship here, you with a significant, person of interest here, deep down is triggering this energy inside of you, where not only is this a hope and a wish, but it's actually starting to become a reality where you as the individual inside of the relationship, in the context of the relationship, are starting to sense a new identity, a totally new identity where you become more or less the true you, the full you in your full regal splendor, in the full dominion of yourself, where you get to shine, you get to propagate your energy, you get to almost like indulge in your passions, the things that you really want to do, the person that you really want to be, the life that you really want to live, and really get stuck into it, like dig your hands into that world and share that with a partner, a person of interest. Because inside of you, let's say the relationship itself is actually, it's almost like fuel for you to become a better you. just the individual yourself as a person inside the relationship. So this is very good news. The Queen of Wands is very inspiring energy. It's very inspired. It's the feeling of being inspired and wanting to share that inspiration with others, almost living by example. It's almost like you would become very, very radiant, and other people would notice. They would think, what's going on with you? You've changed recently. You're kind of, let's just say, you're kind of glowing. I don't know much about auras, but I swear to God, you're glowing. What is it? And you kind of go, well, yeah, I'm just being me, doing what I got to do, evolving in my relationship dynamics. Thank you very much. And I guess that's what it looks like to others. And deep inside, you're kind of chuckling like, oh my God, this could actually be happening. Oh my God, could I actually become like, have such sovereignty over my life in such a way that I become like, I feel inspired and I want to share that and radiate that. That's big wow energy, okay, Taurus? Let's have a look inside of the others, see what's going on with them, all right? I'm getting kind of excited by this reading, Taurus. I guess it's all because of this. This has really set me off. I've never actually seen this before here. It's kind of magical, frankly. So let's have a look inside this person of interest. Okay. Whoa. Hang on, Taurus. You might have triggered something in a person of interest where they are like feeling totally on top of themselves, like it's almost like a parallel experience for a person of interest. Like, okay, there's you, there's a person of interest. This could be relatively new, or it could be soulmate energy. It could be a long-term existing relationship, whatever it is, something in play, something that is transforming, something that's shifting and happening. But inside of themselves, can you see Taurus, like the regal stature here and the balance and the harmony between these two energies? Yes, the Emperor can be like supremely dominant in their own way, almost to the point of oppression. But a healthy, good, strong Emperor does not abuse their power. And I don't see any energy of abuse of power here. What I'm feeling more for this person of interest is that deep inside of themselves, they understand and value and affirm the beauty of this relationship, the opportunities of this relationship for themselves to come into dominion to this level for themselves, like not just becoming like a better person, but becoming their ultimate self in the way that this relationship allows you to have a chance to become your ultimate self. So it's a very, very mutually fulfilling, a very mutually supportive energy dynamic that's going on here between the two persons of interest, yourself and a significant other. It's actually very beautiful because it's very, very more or less equally matched energy. Okay, it might go up and down a little bit, but generally it's like, it indicates here, it's almost like this is like a nuts and bolts reality, person-to-person interpretation of this very serene, beautiful, angelic type energy. In other words, bringing the Two of Cups energy down to earth in a very practical, understandable way that they get it, and it allows them to rise into dominion of themselves, which is the best thing that could possibly happen to anyone. In other words, they have the chance now to love themselves more than ever before and not have to worry about the side effects. In other words, it's the most honorable way they could possibly be, so that they can love themselves more than the need to be people pleasers to others. It's like one of the most authentic ways you can possibly live, and to have the chance to be that way and have that experience and learn that in the context of a relationship is a very sacred opportunity, Taurus. So you might be quite lucky to be sharing a relationship with someone who totally gets you, who totally gets it, and how it works for them as well as how it works for you. So that's really kind of good news. And it's almost kind of sweet, like the way, I mean, it's very strong energy, very regal energy. I know you can see, I mean, it's kind of obvious just looking at the images how this is kind of a good match, you know? It's almost like a husband and wife team type of energy, or spouse and spouse type energy that's very supportive, above and beyond just like, oh, dating, or you're nice, your family likes mine, and my family likes yours, and now all of my friends are getting married, so maybe we should do that too. No, this is something above and beyond all of that. This is very transformational here for yourself and for a significant other. They see the huge opportunity for themselves through the relationship. You see the opportunity for yourself by moving away from whatever is not working and into what is working, which seems to be this relationship dynamic here. Now let's not get too carried away. There's usually challenges deep down somewhere. So let's have a look at the energy of the relationship itself. Okay, so at this moment in time, going through the eclipse seasons and coming out of the eclipses through the end of the year, like through September, October, and November, and perhaps beyond, this little Seven of Pentacles here can indicate that the relationship itself is going through a period of, I would call it, like there's multiple things going on here. It's very evident to you, Taurus, and to a person of interest, a significant other, that there is great value in this relationship. It's becoming very, very evident. And the opportunity is realized and being noticed. And the challenge now here is that, well, it's not a challenge. Let's say the status of the relationship here is that there's a lot going on that requires evaluation and perception and patience. It requires very, very judicious handling on the understanding that seeds have been planted either recently or long ago or in past lives that are starting to come into fruition now in this particular relationship between you, Taurus, and a significant other, to the point where it is very evident that there is very good stuff going on here, and it's still potentially very early days, because this is Two of Cups energy, which in some ways is very, let's just say, nascent or innocent, and has plenty of room to grow, okay? The Two of Cups can grow and grow and grow and grow, but it has to be nurtured. It has to be tended and cared for like a garden, okay? In very, very loving ways. And it seems, Taurus, that you have that match in terms of a mate here with you, because it's obvious that they take this very seriously, and they are more than happy to invest and to continue invest and to do the hard work of nurturing, continuous long-term nurture, where, oh, is it about what, are we going to fertilize things now? Are we going to weed things now? Are we going to pick the fruit now? Are we going to let things go fallow for a while and reset and be gentle on ourselves for another while the next season evolves? All those kind of very fundamental earthy type energies that, if neglected, turns, rotten, and things turn to weeds, things go moldy, the fruit rots and falls. This relationship requires nurture. It requires attention on a regular basis, on a very methodical, conscientious basis, to be able to maintain this supportive energy that is already there for you. You are very, very blessed, Taurus, but you cannot take this relationship for granted. There's a lot of, let's say, power here and strength here and energy here, passion here, and a sense of fulfillment and completion here, and rising into each other's own fullest, best selves. But it's work, okay? In other words, it could be a working relationship. In other words, it could be a very loving relationship. It could be a marriage that's also a business. It could be something like that. But the thing I'm trying to get to here is the energy of nurture, the energy of being aware of the value, never ever taking your eye off the value, ever. In other words, the energy of eternal vigilance. You cannot take this relationship for granted because there's a lot of power here, and where there is a lot of power, there's a lot of responsibility. And if those responsibilities are neglected, things can turn, you know, can revert, okay? So again, we need to pay attention, Taurus. We need to invest and to continue invest for the long term. It's a very, very practical, effective, functional relationship. It's a working relationship that works, okay? So let's see, what's the momentum here? Whoa. Okay, what this could inspire, it's almost like by continuing to invest and work in the relationship and build and build and build a relationship for the long term, this can bring the relationship into, let's say, its fullest expression in a very vibrant way. The Knight of Swords is a very active energy. It's very much about consciousness, wisdom, thought, expression, thinking, speaking, communicating, and that kind of energy. So the relationship itself might, let's say it becomes a working relationship, or the relationship becomes very functional and workable. What it can do is where the relationship becomes an instrument of expression. In other words, the relationship speaks for itself. And so long as you, Taurus, keep investing, nurturing the relationship along with this person of interest or a significant other who continues to invest along with you because they see the long-term golden opportunity here, what can happen is that the relationship itself turns into an ever-increasing, ever-growing, ever more substantial entity in its own right, which allows both parties, yourself and a significant other, to express and live your true life, so to speak. In other words, let's put it this way visually. It allows a person of interest, a significant other, and yourself to be as, let's say, creatively self-expressive as it's possible to be in a healthy, loving relationship. It's very, very, very liberating, okay? It's liberating. It's just like, you know, because a lot of people are terrified about how relationships can be suffocating and restrictive, and what if I make the wrong mistake? That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is that this is a very, let's say, serious relationship, and the awareness is there by both parties. And since the awareness is there and the commitment is there, it's very, very apparent to both parties that this is really good news. And it looks like you are both prepared to put in the hard work because you see the benefits of how, let's just actually put it like this, where the relationship itself, okay, I'm trying to say, allows you and a significant other to express your truth, your fullness, your full light and being in ways that could not possibly happen outside of the context of this relationship. So this is really, really good news for you in many ways, Taurus. Now, I'm sure some of you might be having a hard time. And so I don't want to get too full of, you know, fancy words here and boost up your energy in case you're having a really rough time, Taurus, because you might still be in a quagmire here, and this energy may still exist, and that's very good. But remember, we're dealing with eclipse energy, so the trajectory of the energy could work its way on for months from now. So the reading that we're getting here, which is really beautiful, it's truly a beautiful reading for you, Taurus. You might be only just getting a glimpse of all of this right now, feeling it inside of you, and that there is still a lot of this stuff that needs to be acknowledged and needs to be worked through, and that would all be part of the working part of the relationship. So I'm really happy for you, Taurus, to be able to read this for you. It does involve commitment. It does involve making hard decisions, doing what has to be done for this to even happen at all. But the potential is there, and you are truly blessed by heaven and the angels for real. Okay, now let's pull one card for fun. This is going to be the Romance Angel card, okay? Just for fun. We're going to set this aside over here. Everyone else on all the other readings are going to be jealous of your reading, Taurus, by the way. So don't forget, if this sounds completely bizarre to you, read for your sun, moon, and rising, okay? And then this might make more sense. Let's have a look. We're going to pull one card here, and it doesn't matter whether it's a really challenging card or a supportive card. It doesn't matter. We're going to take it as it is and not take it personally. Taurus, you tend to be a very stable kind of person, and so the whole idea of making big changes and big shifts might be very traumatic for you, but it's very evident here that you're feeling it and how it could be worth your while. Not only for yourself, but for a significant other, because you see the value and the long-term potential for yourself in the relationship. So you're very lucky in many ways, Taurus. Let's have a look. I'm just going to pull the top card when I feel it, and that will be your card. This is your card. Let's just see what it says, okay? It says, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So I feel that this card here relates very, very closely to your original card, okay? Where, see this turbulence here, all this turbulence, that's what this might be referring to, releasing all that from the past. So you're not living in the past, you're not being burdened by legacies of the past which would weigh you down. Instead, you are living in the present and you are investing for the future. So let's kind of pretty up the pattern like this. I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to read for it, and we'll see what happens. Just for fun. This is just for fun, okay? It adds a little bit of color and fun to the reading for you, okay, Taurus? Let's have a look. It says, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. The Romance Angels have heard your desire for great love, and they bring you this card as guidance, okay? This is great love. This is beautiful. It's almost like the ultimate love card. You wished for it, you've got it, okay? And they get it. The angels see that your heart can give and receive the bliss of romance by clearing away the cobwebs and debris of the past. The angels know that you've been hurt before and that you're very wary of being hurt again. And yet your defenses are creating barriers to allowing love into your life, okay? So you might be very, very wary because of past history, okay? It's understandable. People can be very scared to evolve and change and grow because they don't want to get hurt like they might have been hurt in the past. They don't want to be reliving the same old mistake again and again and again. This is not what's happening here, but in order for the fulfillment to happen here, this card is suggesting about letting go of the past, healing and forgiving and learning and moving on. So let's keep reading. As you heal your past, you won't keep recreating it. After all, you attract into your life the situations and relationships that remind you of what you've already experienced, because that is a primary tool of healing, okay? You've got to reveal it to heal it, and then you have to feel it to heal it, and then you can have a chance to heal it. So that's all to do with past energy here, past energy right here, this little thing here, from which you are evolving and growing and moving away. So this is a primary tool in healing, moving away from the past. So to change to a healthier relationship pattern, it is necessary to detoxify any old anger, blame, or unforgiveness that you may be holding. And this includes forgiving yourself, Taurus, okay? If you call upon the angels and ask them to help you release and heal your past, they'll clear away the heaviness so that your heart can soar with happiness. Wow. Jeepers, Taurus. You're really lucky. It's kind of like, oh, look at that. Did you see the card underneath? Look at that. Look at that. Talk about a sweet, happy, oh my gosh. I don't even want to talk about this. I'm not going to say anything. I think, dear viewer, you know what this is. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, specifically this one. I'm not going to say anything because I don't normally pull the card underneath. Okay? Oh, God. Wow. Geez, Taurus. If something awful is happening, please write in and we'll take care of it, okay? All right. Thank you so, so much. Much love to you, Taurus. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in. Have a super August.